started to come down to because there is such rising unemployment. It's really kind of shifted from saying, like you need to really tweak this on your CV. Yeah, they can be really poor about replies, and there's several reasons for that. Um, and there's several reasons. To kind of give you a bit, there's always a there is a couple reasons because one is kind of reputation. If they do respond, um, businesses will with everybody posting stuff on social media. Somebody may take it the wrong way and then post it. Um, I wouldn't necessarily it's broken. I think it is. I think there is a massive problem with how recruitment is done. And I think it's always had inherent problems in it. But I'll get back to that in a moment, champ. Um, I think there's that always because if somebody posts something on TikTok, for example, about a reply they got, it does, to a certain degree, can and does cause some reputational harm, some damage of goodwill that they've started to develop as a business. So that gets harmed. And so they want to avoid that too. What they say could lead to litigation, so they want to avoid it. The third reason is it's busy time, and especially like right now, it's the holidays. People are um it's the holidays. People are all people. There's big huge flu going around, so it's going to take a little bit longer. And some businesses and organizations shut down between Christmas and New Year, so there is a lot that kind of goes on in the background. Um, and so there's a lot of reasons for it. To work in the public sector, in one of the public sector areas where nepotism is highly, highly rampant. Um, and I've seen it happen, and it's not fair to anyone. I think nepotism hurts morale. Um, I think nepotism really hurts, um, and I think nepotism doesn't help anyone. And it is kind of more or less, I think, a kind of political. Um, so I've had Estelle and Esh and Jackie. So if you're just joining, I'm Brian Kirk Vice UK. Live stream every day, 4 a.m. Greenwich Median Time. And right now, we're just having a little bit of a chat. So if you have some ideas, some tips, or thoughts, suggestions um, about kind of the recruitment process. Um, ah, yeah. So I will. No, I haven't watched Games of Thrones. Yeah, with my asthma, staying your own. Lane. Um, I can be pretty good. If it's not for asthma, I'm hardly ever sick. Um, but when I do, what happens is it depends on how quickly I can recover. If I can recover quickly with the chest infection, um, oh well, thank you, Matt, for the hurt me. Thank you. If I can recover, then it is just a really good. I haven't yet. I've been seen in the A&E a few times with asthma, but never been admitted. Usually because I have usually it winds up becoming like pneumonia. And so it will wind up with pneumonia from the asthma and the thing. Um, so I will wind up with it and then wind up on antibiotics, which in the public sector. Um, yeah, there is. Actually, there is a way, 41. What I would say to you is this. Um, Take a look, get in contact with your local combined authority, because they do have a lot of great resources to help you. What you can do with, well, thank you, change for the follow. What you can do is really simple. So if you're just joining on Brian for Advice UK, if you like the feed, please like, please share, please follow. And talking right now about business startup and how you can write poems and make money from it. There's a couple ways. Um, well, thank you for the share, Matt. Oh, that's amazing. Thank you. The way you do it is this. Like I said, get in contact with your local authority, combined authority to kind of get the help with the startup of the business. But when you're as you're doing that, you need to kind of start a business plan to think about what it is you're going to do the poultry. So what you can start to do is, write a book, for example, write a book and publish it and get it published on Amazon. It's really simple. You can always, there's nothing wrong with reaching out to teams. And that's a good question. AY. Excellent question. Thank you for asking. And I will pin that one because that is, I think, a very good question. Um, because what happens is, you don't know until you ask. Um, and that's, I think, one thing, really that's good and shows motivation, desire, interest. Um, by sending them a speculative CV. I don't necessarily advocate sending out speculative CVs because it is most of the time they won't hold on to it, and if you spend a lot of time sending out speculatives, it's kind of in a way self-defeating because if you send out 100 speculatives, you're lucky if you get like 10 replies, and out of that 10 replies you may just get like one interest or something, where they maybe come back like a month later to contact you. So it's a lot of work for very little results, very little benefits. I never really advocate, but if you want, if you want a supporting job and also to, and you want to reach out to the professional teams, there's nothing wrong with it. Try to reach out on um, LinkedIn, or if you know someone on the team that you know personally, reach out to them and email them because it's a good way to get yourself into the door. Um, just remember kind of, to keep it professional. Um, don't harass if because it is speculative. They may not be interested. They may not have anything open. Whole slew of things. So, and most likely they probably won't respond because it is a risk to to the reputation and stuff if they don't have anything. So